All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the crypto market update. So today's discussion, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, altcoins, and their outlook, why I'm near term still bullish. Yeah, we may have pullbacks, but I'm still looking for longs. I'm going to give you all an update on the 5K challenge, the USDN waves depegging risk, and what that may mean for UST and Luna. And then we're going to talk about NFTs as well as the NFT tokens that are associated with it. And are bridges really the future? So let's get started. We're going to talk about Bitcoin to start off with. One of the most important things that's happened with BTC, basically since yesterday's new weekly open, is that we spiked up in a very big way, took out a lot of stops above this key high right here. This is basically, short liquidity being taken and then quickly collapsing back down in a very, very important level, which is the yearly open. Now, this is generally not a good sign because you want to stay bullish and consolidating above the yearly open. And the fact that we're not doing that makes me feel very, very cautious in this particular region. Over the last week or so, I was still optimistic of wanting to stay long and wanting to get long. As of right now, I'm more in the mode of sitting in cash or de-risking my my longs a little bit, especially on the levered side. I'm not interested in levered positions right now. If I'm spot, in altcoins or Bitcoin, I'm okay with that. All right. But if you were kind of looking at your altcoins and they're getting, smacked today, it could get rough for the rest of the week. But again, have no fear, because here's kind of my outlook that I wanted to point out for pretty much the remainder of the month, maybe even the rest of Q2. So if we look at Bitcoin right now, right, it's obviously had a pretty tremendous move all the way up towards $48,000. And it created a very nice support base here around 38,000. Okay. So if we look at this one move that we've had right here as just one large move, and we say, hey, this is a big first wave, right, of many, or it could be, maybe a third wave of, this larger degree wave count right here. But where could a pullback, bring us to? Right. Well, we already had a quick retest right here with this wick around 382, which is around $44,000. If we have a deeper pullback, all right, the pullback could get us all the way to the 618 fib, which is currently around $41,500. The 50 fib right here is around 42,800. Let me make this a different color so we can see properly. Okay. So the 50 fib, like I said, 42.8, 618 fib around 41.5. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing BTC pull back a little bit further. If it does, as of right now, I'm not really interested in levered longs. It just doesn't really pique my interest at current levels, because what I see in the market right now is that, okay, well, we have the yearly open, right around this particular area. We shot slightly above it, kind of failed, maybe came back inside the yearly open again. If we start breaking down, I'm looking for key support levels on the way down. And that just happens to be around, 43 down to about $42,000, this little pocket down here. Okay. I think that's more than reasonable for a pullback. I don't think it's necessary that we have to go deeper. So 43 to 42K, that would be a pretty fantastic buying opportunity, in which case I would be ready to start lever longing again, right? On a higher time frame, right, on a weekly basis, let's see here. Let's see how Bitcoin looks on a weekly basis, because remember, we had a weekly close yesterday and we had a new weekly open, right? So give me 1 second. I don't know what's happening with my chart here. Okay. Let's go to a different chart. Maybe it's just. Okay, there we go. So here's a weekly chart, right? Yesterday's weekly that closed. This is an indecision doji candle. effectively, it kind of spells that you may get some sort of reversal from here. That's generally how this candle is seen in context of this big up move. Then you have an indecision. And if this starts floating downward, say on a 4-hour daily basis, then we can expect this weekly to build out, as a red candle. And the red candle would kind of, head towards the low of this weekly candle, which is around 44,200, right? So that's something that you definitely want to be paying attention to. If we do start seeing a breakdown, like if you kind of look on an hourly basis, you can see that in this area, we've had a whole lot of chop, right? And especially over the last few days, we've definitely had a lot of chop. On a daily basis, one thing I was really surprised by, that this big bullish candle that we had right here got completely wiped out in terms of its movement with this big wick. And that is not really good, because when you start seeing, big breakout candles that get completely wiped in their movement, okay, by taking out the low of that candle, that effectively means that the sellers really, really came to play, and they basically, closed out every single long from this candle onward, right? Or at least forced them to rethink their position. And generally in a strong trending market, you don't really do that. It's not necessary. It's the same reason why, this candle got quickly wiped out in the movement, why this candle got quickly wiped down the movement. It just means that the sellers were pretty strong in this area. Even though we went up, it did not give the buyers an easy opportunity to stay long and be long, right? It effectively gave them maybe a few days of relief to the upside, and then quickly, wiped out those gates. So what I'm concerned about right now is, if you look at the zones that I've mapped out, I see a very, very strong support zone down here, which is labeled by the green box. And then this, red sort of support zone, which again, also happens to be around the yearly open, around $46,200, okay, which is right now resistance. We have not quite cracked above this area. And the fact that we are hanging on right at the resistance point and slightly above, in my opinion, is temporarily bearish. If we were kind of consolidating here and we were doing something like this, I would say we're probably going to rip on through. But we pierced higher and then we got sent back inside. And that, in my opinion, is not really bullish. So the concern here is that we're probably going to see a further pullback, in which case, you will get some buying opportunities on the way down. Now, again, even though I believe that we're going to get a potential pullback on the way down, I'm really not interested in shorting. And the reason why is because ultimately, I do believe that we're probably going to see further upside. And further upside, I'm looking for bigger targets, like 52K is my next target, and 58 to 60,000 is my next big target. And the same goes for altcoins, right? For Ethereum, like I'm kind of looking at Ethereum and saying, okay, well, Ethereum's already at 3,500. I don't see any reason why ETH cannot hit 3,750, maybe as high as, $4,000, $4,100. But near term, right, this is your resistance point. This is your excess. If it starts pulling down inside 3,450, right, then I'm expecting ETH to come back to 3,150, 3,000, and then, make its big move back towards 3,750 or $4,000. Okay. Same goes for other altcoins. I think altcoins right now are kind of looking rough. They're also looking extended. I mean, Solana kind of made a move basically from $80 to almost 140. That's, almost like a 60, 70% move. Luna obviously put in a new all-time high, pretty massive movements that it's had. Rune has been kicking ass since basically end of February, almost up 3x from the lows. So a lot of these altcoins are due for a pullback, and it's not the worst thing in the world for them to pull back, for a good week or two, pull back 30, 40% from their local highs, okay? Because they could still be in a pretty strong uptrend, even if they do pull back, 30, 40% from the local highs right here, right? So that's really what I'm looking forward to. If we do get pullback opportunities, that would be my opportunity to long in the market. Now, And the Advantage side, you guys know very well. I have a private Discord community where we're pretty darn active. Basically, we have all these locked channels where I show Advantage members all the thoughts that I have on the market, what I'm trading, what I'm looking at. And we provided a 5K challenge account here where I show members exactly what I'm looking at in the market and what I'm trading in the market. So the 2021 challenge, we actually started off with $5,000. And by the end of 2021, we were able to close out the year with $26,880, which is a 438% gain. Now you're probably saying, okay, well, you did that, or you did better than that, or maybe you didn't even do that. Well, the question is, not about like how you traded or why you traded. It's rather if you were able to secure profit and actually take that profit and do something with it, right? Like if you just roll that profit into the new year and you start to blow away your money, then you have not really actually made a significant amount of profit for 2021, and you didn't really do anything positive with it. Okay, so this is the one thing that I try to teach my Advantage members, other than just watching me trade in the market. Obviously, I cannot provide financial advice, but I show people how to manage your risk, how to be able to secure your profits, not get too greedy in the market, not get too panicky in the market, and make proper decisions in a sound, rational way. And I know that can be very tough in crypto because you have so much noise, you have so many opportunities to kind of get in and out of the market, make money with leverage and this and that. But we also teach people why not to lever up in certain situations. And if you do, why to size down and why to lever up very tiny. And so these are the things that, I kind of show people exactly how I go about trading day in and day out, month in and month out, and year in and year out. So 2021, like I said, a pretty successful challenge, starting off the year with 5,000, ending the year with a 438% gain. 2022 has been a rocky road. We once again started a $5,000 challenge. Again, this is all available to our Advantage members. So if you want to sign up, you can go to thealphatrades.com, go to the products page and sign up for the Advantage membership. It's $97 per month. Like if you can't afford $97 per month, I don't really know how you're going to make a significant impact in crypto because you got to actually keep up with the space on a day-to-day basis. And people who can do that are people like myself who literally do this for a living, right? Like I cannot expect the same sort of due diligence and time and energy for others to give when they have other responsibilities like their kids or a separate job. That's why you let me do the hard work for you. And this is your fee for the membership. So you don't have to pay attention to the market 24/7. I do that for you. All right. If you want to just learn technical analysis of how I look at the market, there's also a trading course that I created a couple of years back. Very, very applicable, very simple techniques of how I look at the market. The course is only $20. Once again, you can click right here in the products page at the technical analysis course. It's only $20. If you do sign up for this course, just message me in our Discord, right? And let me know that you joined the course, and I'll give you 7 days free in our private Advantage community. Okay, again, the Advantage community is just locked channels of the challenge that I show, the trades that I'm taking on a day-to-day basis, the analysis that I'm looking at the market. Basically, the video that you're seeing right now, but with actual trades, with the real live money, with hourly or multi-hourly analysis. And I let my members know exactly what I'm doing in the market. That is what you pay for in the Advantage side for the Advantage membership. Okay, so enough about that, right? 2022 5K challenge, again, started off the year, 5,000, had a big rocky movement up and down through January, started to close out better. End of February and then beginning of March did better. So currently we're sitting at $5,800 in the 5K account. Obviously still in the positive, but it's been a pretty choppy market. But I expect the rest of the year for 2022 to be a lot better. to trade. Okay. So I'm super excited to show my Advantage members how I'm going to go about the up and down movements of the year. I hope you do come join our Advantage community. So let's move on to other things that I want to talk about, right? Like I said, I want to talk about Bitcoin alts. Near term, I'm still bullish. I talked about the 5K challenge account, how it works, how I show everybody transparency, live analysis, live trading with live money. Okay. Now I want to talk about sort of the new phenomena that's coming up in crypto, which is USDN and stable coins pegged with their associated crypto. One thing that I pointed out just a couple of hours ago was Waves has this USDN coin that is pegged to $1. But the way Waves works is every time people park money in USDN, an equivalent amount of dollar value is burned in Waves. But if people start pulling money out of USDN, which is a stable coin, supposed to be a stable coin, then Waves starts getting sold to maintain that peg. So now what you see is USDN, the stable coin, is down 15% in value because it's depegged from $1. And what's happening with Waves? Well, Waves is also taking a crap. Right? If you look at Waves right now, it's down 4, 6, 4, and then another 9%. So it's almost down, 25, 30%, basically from the highs. Okay. And this is the problem that's sort of occurring with these coins that are starting to create these stable coins, which they're hoping that, hey, if people park money in our stable coins, hoping to earn yield, right, we will get to burn an equivalent amount of the associated crypto. Well, what happens if the other side of the formula kicks in, which is people start pulling money out of the stable coin like USDN? Well, then Waves starts getting sold off because you have to maintain that dollar peg. And this is one of the concerns that people have had for Luna and UST. I still believe that concern is still there, but obviously, in my opinion, Luna and UST is the associated stable coin of Luna, is far more stable, right? It's far more well capitalized. It has way more money, bigger funds backing it. So, even though it is a better capitalized asset, I still do think that the risk is still there. And you should definitely pay attention, because once that peg to that stable coin starts breaking, you're going to start seeing, a decent amount of selling starting to happen in that associated crypto like Waves, like Luna. Okay. So I just want to point that out. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is how NFTs are doing. Now, obviously, NFTs have come back to life a little bit. We in the Advantage community, we also have a free channel for NFTs. You can join our Discord for free, by the way. The link is below. And you can join the NFT gaming chat, the Ethereum, Solana, Arbitrum, NFT discussion. And we talk a lot about the alpha that's being generated in the NFT space. And I love it because I'm also learning, what are the different parts of the NFT space that are worth paying attention to. Now, the great thing about our community is we point out a lot of really good opportunities in the NFT space, but more importantly, we point out what could be garbage and what could be a scam. And I think that is far more of a bigger alpha than, just recognizing what you should mint or what you should be paying attention to. Because just avoiding the scams and avoiding the garbage in the space of NFTs is just, it's going to save you a ton of money. All right. And if you save a ton of money, then you have opportunities to mint better projects. So definitely join our Discord community, just even if for the NFT alpha. Okay. Now, one of the NFTs that I've been talking about for several months has been the Gods community, which is on the Solana ecosystem. Now, the floor price of Gods is now 90 Solana. Now, I know that's very high, but I mentioned to my Advantage members about the Solana Gods community way back in November 2021. And I just want to point this out because people often think that, hey, well, you're only mentioning this now when the floor prices are high. And that's not true. If you look right here on November 1st, 2021, this is where I had mentioned on my Twitter feed that I had picked up a Gods NFT, right? And back then, the floor prices were about 2.5 Sol, if I'm not mistaken. It's still kind of high, but like in comparison to where they are now, you know, I did my due diligence in this project. Yes, I've been wrong on many, but it only takes a few projects like this to hit a home run and you're up 50x in your NFT, right? Because that's basically what I bought it at. I bought it around like, 2 or 2.5 Sol. And now my, the Gods NFTs close to like 90 to 100 Sol, right? So that's a 50x gain. And, if you do want to follow like some of the alpha that we release in the NFT space, you got to really just be entrenched in our community to pay attention to what we talk about, whether it's, NFTs, whether it's altcoins, whether it's, different opportunities in the crypto space. Like I said, right, the membership fee that you pay for is for our community and specifically myself to do the work, which is what you pay $97 a month for. Okay. We do all the hard work and present to you all the alpha driven opportunities where, there's a good amount of potential and a good amount of opportunities in the space. Okay. So anyway, I hope y'all do come join our Advantage community. Now, last thing I want to talk about is, actually, there's two more things I want to talk about. Aside from NFTs, there's obviously tokens associated with the NFTs, right? There's the ape token, which probably is the most famous token right now that's out there. The ape token right now is currently trading at close to $12. Ape token is associated with the Bored Ape Yacht Club as well as the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Then there's the Dust token. This Dust token right here is associated with the Gods community, the one that I just mentioned. And this, in my opinion, is probably one of the tokens that you definitely want to keep an eye on because this has direct utility associated with the Gods community. Because what the Dust token does is it upgrades your Gods to a dead god, right? So you can see right here, Gods can be converted to dead gods with Dust. So it has direct utility for the token. And then Magic Eden, basically like your OpenSea for Solana, is actually integrating the Dust token into their marketplace. So people can then use the Dust token to actually buy other NFTs, which again is another reason why you should be paying attention to Dust. When you buy an NFT token, right, you don't just want to know that, oh, well, this token is associated with so-and-so NFT. Well, so what, right? Like, what is the actual utility? How is it going to accrue value? How is it going to be used? How is it going to be moved from people to people or people to marketplace? Well, Dust token is telling you that there's, already multiple areas of functionality for the token. It's being integrated in Magic Eden, and it's also being used to upgrade your Gods NFT to a Dead Gods NFT. So I'm very bullish on Dust token. Please do your own research. Again, not financial advice. All right. So Dust token, Ape token, and then finally, there's also this one thing that's coming out, which is I still got to do research on, is called ASTO, Altered State Machine. This ASTO token is basically, is going to go public at maybe I think 28 to 30 cents, which, fully diluted value is close to $600 million compared to the Ape token, which is 12.3 or, $13 billion or so. I personally think that you definitely want to start paying attention to these NFT tokens and doing research and trying to figure out which NFT tokens could accrue value with utility. And ASTO is definitely one that I have my eye on, as well as, the Dust token. But obviously, please do your research. This is on my Twitter feed as well. It's also in the NFT gaming area in our Advantage community if y'all want to do research. Okay. And then finally, last but not least, what I wanted to talk about is just one last thing, which is where exactly, are we in the crypto space and where do we think we're heading, right? Obviously, NFTs are a big thing. Like I said, the Gods community, in my opinion, putting up huge volumes, huge numbers, raising a floor price pretty much as high as any top crypto NFT. But where exactly is the space growing from an infrastructure perspective, from a growth perspective? And I believe that the space is probably heading towards a multi-chain world, which I've talked about before, right? Like I believe that a multi-chain world would require bridges as sort of the central, glue, the central figure to how things are being held together. And I point this out by mentioning that Stargate Finance and Synapse Protocol are two of the tokens, two of the bridge protocols that you want to be paying attention to, because bridges are the thing that are going to connect different ecosystems, right? Solana to Ethereum, Ethereum to Phantom, Phantom to Solana, Avalanche to Solana, like this kind of stuff. You want that seamless capability of moving between chains without having to deal with just figuring out like, well, are my funds really going to make it from one side of the bridge to the other? Now, we've also had significant hacks on bridges like Wormhole, bridge and Ronin bridge have lost, hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's also one of the responsibilities that bridges have, is to take care of the risk associated with moving large sums of money. Because from going from one chain to another, the vulnerabilities are significant because you have to deal with different code, different protocols, different, sort of staking mechanisms. And all this creates more and more complexities for the bridges to operate successfully. So I'm hoping that, doing research in Stargate and Synapse, both of which, I'm doing a lot of research in. A full disclaimer, I may own a position in both. I don't want to talk about, how much I own or when I bought it, et cetera, because it's kind of pointless. But I believe that bridges are going to be the next big thing if you believe that crypto is going to be in a multi-chain world. If you just think that everybody's going to operate on Ethereum and Ethereum is going to be a separate nation, and a Solana, people are going to be their own club, and Avalanche people are going to be their own club, and they're not going to interact with each other, then you don't need to think about bridges. But it just doesn't make any sense. Why would all these different sort of nations or different blockchains just stay separate? They would want to interact with each other, share value, create movement across chains. And I believe that is where the world of crypto is heading. So definitely be paying attention to bridges. Definitely be paying attention to the NFT tokens. I really believe that that's going to be the big alpha for 2022. I still, like I said, believe in the long side of the argument for Bitcoin and altcoins. I do believe, we're going to get a pullback either this week or next week, but I'm still looking for long opportunities to the upside. After that, I don't know, maybe into Q3 or Q4, I'm going to significantly de-risk, and then I'll let y'all know at what point I will start going short. Okay. So anyway, lots of information, lots of alpha. I do hope you guys hit the thumbs up on my content. I do a lot of free videos like this, but I always appreciate it when people show me love and leave me a comment of how this information has helped them. And especially if you join the Advantage community, that helps us as a community grow and, make me do more public videos, because it just shows that, okay, our community itself is clearly dropping alpha on the private side. And there is a lot of, people that want to join our private community, and they want to make sure that that alpha is retained within the Advantage community, right? Again, I don't always give out a lot of free information, a lot of free alpha, but I want to do it today because I really want everybody to succeed in the space. And so whoever's watching this video, good luck to you. I hope you kick ass the rest of this year. Obviously, be cautious in the market. Just recognize when there's risk developing. Do not lever up too much. Do not take too much risk. All right. Hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment of your thoughts and let me know if I missed anything you want me to pay attention to. All right. Take care. Good luck to you. Cheers.